Hey, what's up, guys? We're back again, and now I'm going to show you 3, maybe 4 exercises that will help with mobility around the drum set. So obviously mobility is very important. One of the top 5 skills you have to be a good drummer, to me at least. I mean, all of my favorites can move around the drum set like nobody's business. Dennis Chambers, Tony Williams, Chris Dave, Thomas Pridgeon, Tony Royster, all these guys. Their body control is one thing that I always admired and took note of. So this first exercise is very much so inspired by Tony Williams. Actually, I think a couple of them are inspired by him because he's one of my favorite drummers. So here I play it slowly so you get the sticking and the pattern of it. And what I do is I start it at that slow tempo to kind of warm up. And then obviously I increase the speed. The goal here really isn't to do a lot of reps at varying speeds. The goal here is to get comfortable at a quicker tempo. So what I do here is I pretty much go until the tempo is too fast for me or I mess up. I actually think I could have went a little faster here, but just for the sake of the video, I stopped a little prematurely. The most important part of this exercise, to me at least, is when it flips and you have to use your left hand to lead around the drum set. Going around from the right side, back to the left side, starting with your left hand. I think that's very tricky, at least for me, it's super hard to do. So it's important that I practice it. And in game speed, where you're in gigs, like, man. Actually, I think only drummers will appreciate how impressive that is. The audience doesn't really care. But to me, when I see a drummer start with his left hand and go around the kit from across his body and can do rolls like that, man, it's incredible. And right there I messed up, but I left it in because there's nothing wrong with messing up. You're in the practice room, that's gonna happen. A whole lot actually if you're doing it right. There's also nothing wrong with messing up on gigs and shows. I do that a lot too. The trick is at the show to be able to cover it up and not let the audience know you messed up. Woo! That's when we know we're getting somewhere. When you're kind of uncomfortable, you hit a stick, you hit the rim of your drum and your stick flies away. That's just the start of something great. So if this was a normal practice session, I would keep pressing until I can get the speed a little bit higher, until it gets to a point that I don't drop the stick or it doesn't hit the rim. And it might take more than one practice session. I mean, this is a lifetime pursuit. There is no, get fast hands in 30 days right now type of method. That doesn't really exist, at least in my opinion. That's all kind of clickbaity trying to sell you something. And so you might not get your speed up on that first section. Maybe on the 50th practice session, or maybe on the 100th practice session, you'll get it down. And those are the wins that we're talking about. Those are the wins that we really appreciate. And if you keep adding up wins like that, then you'll eventually get to where you want to be. This next exercise, actually, I came up with it because I was influenced by or inspired by Jerome Flood, who was one of the Guitar Center drum-off champions a few years ago. And he had this lick, I forgot when he placed it, but it was just triplets between the snare and the floor tom. I think he goes to the hi-hat too at the end of it. I'm not sure, you might have to double check that. But I wanted to be able to do that, go around the kit with triplets. So I came up with this exercise. And my favorite part of this exercise, the most important part to me, is at the end where we incorporate the crash cymbal and the hi-hat. Once again, Dennis Chambers is my favorite drummer. And he has a lot of licks where he goes from cymbal to cymbal, crazy fast triplets. And I wanted to find some way to practice that by putting it in some sort of warm-up, so that's why I added it to the end of this exercise. And I go in between this crash cymbal and my hi-hat, but if you have a second crash over here, you can substitute the hi-hat for that. Now this exercise I've taken verbatim from Tony Williams. In a lot of his solos, he kind of sets the mood by doing slow to fast rolls around his drum set. Now he has more toms than I do, but the idea is still the same. And with this one, you don't have to set a metronome. You just go from slow to fast and see how fast you can get it and how long you can go for. And I've used this in a lot of solos on the road. I find that if I don't know what to play, which that happens a lot actually on stage, I know I can start a drum solo with some sort of figure like that. Now here's a bonus exercise. It's also inspired by Tony Williams yet again. And it's basically just Swiss Army triplets around the kit. Starting with the right hand, you go all the way down, then back up. And the key, once again, the fun part of this exercise is when you switch to the left hand, you have to go around across your body with your left hand. That's a very underutilized skill for drummers nowadays. And I think that could be a cool skill to kind of develop and, take advantage of. So watching this back, I'm seeing that on that last run through, I'm really tense. And obviously that's not ideal for when we master this and put it into performance. So now next time I work on it, I'm going to work on breathing and being less tense. But obviously something new when you're pushing the boundaries of what you can do at that moment, you're going to be tense. Your body's not used to it. So it's going to be like, oh, what are we doing? But once I get more reps, I'm going to get way more comfortable and be less tense. So hopefully the next time you see me do it that fast, it'll be easy. And that's it. Those are 4 exercises that should help you get around the kit easier. If you have any questions or ideas for more videos, put them in the comments. I'm working on a video breaking down how to learn licks from your favorite drummers, flip them, and then eventually create your own drum licks. We'll see. I haven't even started on that video yet, but let me know if that's something you're interested in. Also, I have music coming out. My very first album, Sometimes Late at Night, comes out May 3rd, which hopefully this video comes out before then. But yeah, shameless plug. Check it out. Let me know. I'm going to eventually do a breakdown on the drum beats on that record. I play some pretty cool grooves that I think you guys would like to learn and then apply to your own situations. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for checking it out, and see you next time.